All right, so underwriting is whenever the bank has everything that they need. Now we're just waiting for them to review all the paperwork and give you a clear to close to where you can become a homeowner. Some of those other things some of the other things we need to talk about are out-of-pocket expenses. The first one would be the escrow deposit. They're typically $1,000. You could go down to 500 if you absolutely need to. However, try to keep it at 1,000, and that gets credited back to you at closing, whether it goes towards closing costs or in a check back to you. The next thing is a home inspection. They typically cost between $500 to $600, depending on the age of the home and the size of the home. That is paid out of pocket. Could be put on a credit card if you need to. The appraisal is $600 right now. Those either can get wrapped into the loan or you can pay them out of pocket, whichever one you would like to do with that as well. The closing costs. This is a huge one. We typically ask the sellers to pay your closing costs for you. The closing costs are everything: your funding fee, your origination fee, all of the lender fees that you have to do, the recording fees to the city. Okay, it sounds like a whole lot of money, and it typically is. That's why we ask the seller to pay for it for you. And if they don't want to, we can always come up in price to be able to cover it as long as the home appraises for that much. Um, with that, just because we say 3% closing costs doesn't always mean that the closing costs are only 3%. Sometimes they could be 4%, and that's another part that you have to cover out of pocket. That's why I say we could typically go up in price as long as it will appraise for that amount. The other thing is the agent fee. Our brokerage, we request 3% to be able to work with buyers to go buy a home. I will tell you that for myself, if we ask the other side to pay for it for you, if they offer less than 3% for my commission, I accept what they will give us as long as it's not zero, right? But as long as it's a reasonable answer, I don't come back to you and say, hey, actually, I need you to pay this for me. That's not how I operate. I'd rather get you into a home and get you taken care of. Other than that, that's most of the information that we just needed to go through. Some of the things that you will need to get to be able to start the process, I will let you know in a list. That way you can just start to work on them.